Hi everyone, welcome to Courage Times. My name is Courage. Believe it or not, that's my real name. It's been an amazing ride with you, and I promise you, as time goes on, you're going to hear different immigrants come to the show and talk about the immigrant journey. So today I'm going to talk about my immigrant journey to the United States of America. We live in a time immigration seems to be the hot topic or very sensitive topic, and too many people have different opinions about it. But I'm here to just ease your way into it, to tell immigrants are not a problem. If you look around your neighbors, your co-workers, you can see people that came from other countries. You can really tell that they don't mean harm. They want to do good in this country. So each of them come with their suitcase, they came with their stories, and they want to build a life for themselves in this country. So that's what we are. That's what we're doing. And today I'm going to take you on a journey with me through my own immigration and journey to the United States of America. So most people think that coming to the US, you gotta just come to the border. Some people have different ideas about it, but it's not so. But today, through my journey, I'm going to shed some light about the struggles, the paths that some immigrants take to get to this country. First of all, I'm from Nigeria. I'm from the southern part of Nigeria, River State. I grew up in Port Harcourt, the city. And I'm of the tribe, the Courage tribe. I came to the US when I was really growing. I didn't come like a child. I came to the US 2015. And coming to the US wasn't that easy. It was a journey that took a lot of time and years, understand. Before I jump right into my immigrant journey, I just want to give you a little background of myself. I'm the first son of my family. I have 3 other siblings. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. My mom and dad, we came from a very religious background. We go to church. I still believe in God too, though. So that's one thing that kind of keep you going in this land we find ourselves sometimes. The faith back home kind of builds you to be a better person. So for me, my parents kind of enshrine religion to us, understand, which is good. And we've grown to be better people to the society, and we kind of be better human beings too. I want to say, growing up in Nigeria, I went to a primary school. I went to a private primary school. What people call, in America, they call it elementary or kindergarten. I went to a private primary school. Then Beverly Site. Then my high school or secondary school, I went to Federal Government College, Port Harcourt, River State. So all my life, my secondary school, my primary school was River State. Same with my college. I went to University of Science and Technology, River State University of Science and Technology. I did petrochemical engineering there. So all my life, according to my friends, it's like all your life has been on the Equity Road, one straight shot. Some of them even make fun of me that all my life I've only traveled 15-hour transport. Which sometimes I kind of push back and say why should I leave my state? My state has everything. Why should I leave River State? So that's a little bit about myself. Then coming to US, my uncle fought for us. My uncle fought for us to be in the United States. I mean, he put in documents. He applied for us to really come as an immigrant to this country, which we are indebted, grateful for him that he did that. He filed for us in 2002, and we got approved 2015. That's about 13 years before we got approved to come over to the United States of America. So talking right now, my memories go back to the time we went to the airport. We went to the immigration office, and we went to Lagos. They have an American embassy in Port Harcourt, where I'm from. Went to the embassy in Lagos, and before I go to the embassy, I had to go get my passport, and that was the first time I'm getting my Nigerian passport. All of us got our passport made, and it was a hectic process. That's a really conversation for another day. Getting a Nigerian passport is one of the most hardest passports you can ever get in this world. I don't know why, but it's one of the hardest things you can ever get. But we finally got the passport through knowing somebody, understand, we know one custom officer, my father's friend, kind of helped us, kind of eased the burden for us though. So we got our passport, we got an appointment to get to American Embassy in Lagos. And I went to Lagos with my family. That was the first time I got on a flight. The first time in an aeroplane. It was like a 45-50 minutes flight from Port Harcourt to Lagos. I got there around 11 p.m. Then we stayed in one of our family friend house. Then we got to go to the embassy. They gave us an appointment by 6 o'clock. That was our appointment. You gotta be there by 6 a.m. Like after a while, I thought my dad told me about that appointment that early. I'm like, maybe they just want us to be there on time. We'll have to leave our family friend place by 3 a.m. to beat Lagos traffic and all that to get there before 6 a.m. When we got there, the queue was all the way back. And I was like, does everybody have 6 a.m. appointment? They're like, yeah, we're supposed to have a 6 a.m. appointment. So we went through that hustle, showing our document at the gate and everything, and they called us. So when they called us, I remember my dad called with all the documents, our photograph as a family, my uncle's family photograph, pictures of my uncle too, just to like show like a proof like, yeah, the person we're coming to stay and see easily who he say he is, understand. So I remember like they told us to raise our hands up, take an oath that whatever we say is the truth and nothing but the truth. So they swore us in it was kind of interesting. And they like asked my dad some questions, asked my dad if they didn't ask us questions, just talk to my dad, like how long he has known his brother, what relationship they have, just so many like family related questions. What is my grandmother's name? What's my grandfather's name? So they asked all those questions to my dad, and my dad answered it. And they told us to go step aside, and they told my dad to pay for me and my brothers a visa. Because my sister and all of them have gotten a visa before. I've gotten the visa paid for before we came for the interview. So it was me and my brother that haven't gotten a visa paid for because my auntie kind of appealed, because if you're 21 years, you can't immigrate into America anymore. They came immigrating to America. So my auntie kind of appealed the process because she said like when they filed for us, we are not up to 21 years old. So it is not our fault that they delayed the whole process, and we have grown 21 years old to be here. So she kind of appealed, and they kind of granted the appeal, and so we had to pay for our passport, our visa at the embassy there. Then they told us we had to go do some medicals, and they gave us instruction like, oh, when you go do your medicals, you have to open this document. Whatever document they give you is going to be sealed till you come to the America custom in the US states. You don't have to open it. So we did our medical. We got the result. All of us had like six envelope, but that had to put in a separate bag, put a lock on it. Nobody opens the stuff. It is just kind of looking back. It just good memories coming through though. And my dad's like, oh, we don't have to open it. And whenever they open it, after about a week, our passport was shipped to us back, and it was stamped. And we got our passport August of 2015. That began our immigration journey there. How we're gonna come to US. Whenever I decided I wanted to come to US, went to book the flight, started deciding as a family, started like settling things at home, putting everything in a trusted hands before we make the final move to come to US. And at this moment, it was like a dream, understand, in Africa. Like you got that good news, you gotta keep it to yourself. Like you don't tell everybody that good news, you just gotta keep it to yourself. And like I kind of told some of my close friends and stuff like, hey, I'm gonna be traveling soon. And that's how I came to US though. It was looking back, hearing my dad saying like, yeah, our passport's been stamped, we'll be going leaving soon. Just thinking back at this moment, understand, it's just looking back. I never know what the US holds for me. I never know what to expect. I never know what's going to happen. We're just like, we're going to a strange land. We're leaving everything behind. We're leaving families. We're leaving friends. We're leaving Teens will know, understand, like leaving your comfort zone to come to a strange land. You don't know what the people looks like. You don't know how they're going to receive you, understand. All we know about America growing up is the movies, understand. So it was really, was a mixed feelings. Sense of like, oh, I'm really going to the United States of America, and sense of like, what my life look like in America. So those feelings kind of goes through my head, and sometimes I just start to like, you know what, everything's gonna work out good, and that's how I kind of live by, understand. I like everything's gonna work out good. Even up to now, I live by that principle. Like no matter what, it's gonna turn out good. So finally decided to come to US December. That's when we booked our flight to come to US, because once you stamp your passport to immigrate into the United States of America, you have 6 months to be in the United States of America, or else you're gonna start the whole process all over again. So that's what happened. So we got our passport on August, then we had to come to US by December, almost like 5 months after we got it, or less than 5 months. Yeah. So now we started like, oh, we're gonna go to US. My mom started getting stuff ready, things to come to United States with, food stuff, you know, African people, Nigerians, we're gonna come with a lot of food stuff. So we don't miss home them so soon, understand. My mom bought fish, egusi, grated one. We came with the Indomie. We came with malaria medication. We came with a lot of food stuff, understand. We will pay extra luggage right from Lagos, and we also have like, we took a NAFDAC paper, NAFDAC approval to show that the food was not contaminated or whatever, was properly inspected. We pay all that extra money for extra luggage. I remember like all of us had like 2 luggages, and the carry-on, our carry-on was just food stuff, like food stuff. Whew. Then we started heading to US. We left Port Harcourt to Lagos, from Lagos to Dubai, because we flew through with Fly Emirates. So we head to Dubai. Then from Dubai we had a connecting flight coming to Houston. And it's just like getting on the flight from Houston, from Lagos to Dubai was 10 hours. Then from Dubai to US was about 17 hours. It was a long flight. Like, we sat down in that plane, looking at the time, like, oh, is this plane really moving? I remember at that point, my mom asked me if the plane was really moving. I'm like, oh, I don't think the plane is moving. My mom was like, really? See, it was an experience, man. Everything was kind of new. We couldn't really eat much in the plane. Everything, they served us, looked foreign to us. We only ate bread and water. That's all we got till we got to the United States of America. And when the plane touched down, like, you took a deep breath, like, wow, here the journey began. So we got off on the plane. We got off and it was just like, coming, oh, United citizen this way, every other person this way. Then all of us that are not green card holders or American citizen was in a long line. And we stayed, that line was so long, I was like, wow. There's everybody coming from at this time of the night, understand? Go to years about 10 p.m. There's everybody coming, understand? So now, after that process, going through the line, the immigration officers, when we got to our turn, took my dad aside and like asked for those documents that they gave us from the doctor and from the hospital and from the embassy. They took my dad, only my dad went with the man. He was like, I don't know what they're talking. They took my dad to a separate room, and all of us, our heart was scared. Because my dad was in that room for almost like 45 minutes. We're like, oh my God, are they going to send us back? I hope we didn't forget any important document. Like, your mind is just going through too many things, understand? Like, you just can't, you don't know if you've really arrived, understand? Then, lo and behold, I saw my dad coming, and he just had that smile on his face, and I'm like, yeah, I think we're good. We're really good. Then my dad said, here we go. Then we went to the guy, the immigration officer, took our pictures, we did thumbprinting, and after all that, they gave us our passport each. Then we had to head to the baggage claim to get our bag. I think we were the last people there. When we got to our baggage, our luggage here, wow, they had about 3 security officers and 2 security dogs just sniffing through our bags, and they just like, I said, God, what's in this bag? I hope nothing. Your mind is just not at ease and stand because you don't know. You hear stories like people just have the wrong luggage and they just locked up and stand. You hear stories like that. They're like, oh, I hope nothing bad is not in our luggage. I'm like, yeah. So the lady was like, oh, where you guys coming from? We said Nigeria. It's like, yeah, we thought as much. But you guys came with a lot of food stuff. So she took these bags and was going through our luggage. All the noodles we bought, the indomie my mom bought, the egusi, the one that she didn't grind, like so many food stuff, the malaria medication, they took it all from us. Understand? My mom was mad because she spent a lot of money, not just to buying it, also to ship it and pay for extra luggage, and getting here your stuff is just taken away from you. Understand? She felt that. I could tell from her face. She was mad about the whole incident. Because in Nigeria they told us, yeah, you can go with it. Deep down they know we can't go with it, understand? But as long as you've paid for it, they'll clear you for it, anything. So that's what happened though. So after I finished with that whole process, my bag, ransack and everything, food stuff taken, we had to walk outside of the airport. Then my uncle was there to welcome us, and it was just the sense of like calm, like just see my uncle and just like, yeah, like, oh, this phase is over. My uncle hugged us, tell us welcome to America. Yeah, we went to his car and he drove us, man. I got my first culture shock leaving the airport. Driving through that IAH airport, I was like, it's a high-rising building. Because all I know about America mostly is it's more like, I thought that America is like New York. Like everybody has their own high-rising buildings, all this fancy stuff and all that. And then I knew like there's bushes and bad roads in America. That was my first cultural shock. Driving through IAH, through those potholes and through those bushes around the airport. I was like, yes, high-rising building. Wow, so America is not really what I thought it is though. Damn. So man, I just sat in the car, just looking through the window, just like seeing, go towards downtown area, like, I saw the high-rising buildings and all that. It was kind of beautiful. It's amazing to understand. I saw it, I was like, oh, this is really America. Like, we just go driving and just looking through the window, like, trying to like see what's open or what you can see from afar and all that. It was just fun. And you just take a deep breath, like, came to the realization, like, yeah, I'm really in America. Like, I'm really here now. So this is how we came to America. This is how, like, the intro to our journey to this immigration path, coming to this great and amazing country, which has been so good to me, my family, and even to my friends that have come over. Though it has been an amazing country to us, and we don't take it for granted being in this country. Understand? We hold this country with high esteem, and we love it. This is our new home. Understand? This is our new sense of home to us. Understand? This is all we know. This is what we know for this past going to 10 years we've been in America. This is what we know. Understand? So that was my immigration story and my family coming to US, and adjusting to US was not easy for us. Understand? We're getting used to the time change because it was like 7 hours different from Nigeria. We kind of sleep during the day, and nighttime we are up because it's kind of reverse. So it took us like a couple of weeks, about a week to adjust. I kind of adjust easily, but I think my parents did not really adjust that fast. So they still sleep during the day and stay up during the night. I can't remember any other cultural shock or any change that kind of affected them much. They were kind of getting used to like the life, understand, like, because when we came with our papers, our social security didn't come immediately, our green card didn't come immediately, so it came about 3 weeks. That's when we got our social. So before this time, then we always like try to go outside and take a walk, because that's all we could do. We can't go anywhere. My uncle goes to work, the wife went to work, my little cousins, they went to school, so it is just us at home, understand? You just get bored. Our phone was not kind of working then, so we just get bored, understand? So we go to the lake. That lake became our, I feel like it's something like you wake up and want to do, understand? It was kind of this very beautiful lake. It's just so beautiful, like you wake up, you walk around it, they have this goose, so you gotta be careful because the goose is gonna chase you, understand? So that's what we did most times to get our papers. Then my cousins come back from school, I kind of help them with their schoolwork. So just stay busy, understand? Just to stay busy and be productive and try to support my uncle and the family as much as I can. So that's kind of our journey. And every uncle want to go to the store. He's gonna say, hey, let's go to the store. We'll be happy to go to the store, just to go to the grocery store. I know my uncle likes to go to Walmart and Audi. Let's go to the store, we'll be so happy. And my uncle's like, hey, if you want to go out, you gotta hold your passport, because that one not got any form of identification. So we went to grocery store with our passport, we went to church with our passport. Everywhere we're going, as long as we're leaving the house, we had our passport with us, but we went to the lake with our passport. So I'm like, oh, you don't really form of identification, you gotta have your passport on you. In case the cops stop you, you say, oh, you're legal to stay here. Everywhere I had my green passport on me, it's just funny. It is just kind of funny. Then we just kind of keep learning as we go. Then when we got our people, when our social security came, we had to go to the social security office to sign it or something like that. I remember. Then that's one thing that cultural shock to me too. Like they always spell our name, they always say our name. Understand? Like Nigeria call our your first name, your surname or your middle name. And then when America call it your last name and your first name. You know, I'm used to writing my last name first, my middle name, and my first name and the last. So these are things I started learning how to do again when I came to America. How to write dates. In America, I write the month, the day, and the year. I think in Nigeria, I write the day, the month, and the year. So these are things I remember when I go fill forms in Social Security office, and when I got to, the guy asked me like, what's your last name? I was like, I don't have a last name. He was like, what? I'm like, yeah, I don't have a last name. I was like, I asked my uncle like, hey, this guy asked me for my last name. He was like, he meant your surname. I'm like, oh, my surname is blah, blah, blah. It was just funny. Then I had to like learn that stuff. I'm like, your last name is your surname. How to write the date. I feel bad for DMV though, because I had to go get my state ID. Sometimes I used to write with like 3 forms. Either I make a mistake in my writing of my name, or I make a mistake in writing the date. So it's something like we kind of took time to adjust to understand. Like it's different. So that's another cultural shock to me too. To like, we learned everything. We began to learn the culture. We began to learn the way of life in America gradually, step by step. Understand. So after we got our social. Our green card came in the mail. When the green card came in the mail, we started applying for jobs. Like I started applying for jobs, different places. I don't know because I went to Walmart a lot with my uncle. I still wanted to work in Walmart. I wanted to work in Walmart so much. I just like the store. I don't know why. But that was one place I really wanted to work so bad. I applied to Walmart. I remember my uncle took us to the Walmart to apply in person. So they take you to the back and give you the computer, you apply everything. I applied in JCPenney, I applied in Kroger, I applied in Home Depot, I applied in a lot of places. Never got a call back though. Man, my brother's gotten a job, my sister's gotten a job, LME. that's eligible to work too. I haven't gotten the job. I was stressed. I was thinking, I won't go out on this, won't drive or going to church or going to the store. I just like take pen and paper and be writing the places I saw, write them on in the paper. Then when I get home, I start applying to jobs in those places I saw that's kind of close to my uncle's place. I start writing them and going. Like when I get home, I'm going to apply online. And then my uncle sometimes my uncle take me to the stores to apply in person. Like I applied to a lot. Then finally, I remember one Sunday. So when I come up from church, my uncle asked me, "Have you applied to this job?" I said, "No." He's like, "Oh, I applied for it." So when I go home, I applied for it. And the next day they called me. That's how I got my first job in Stripes. I was hired as a kitchen aide because they have a Mexican. What I said Mexican? They have a taco shop inside the gas station. So I was hired to help in the kitchen. I was so excited. Like, oh God, I finally got my first job in America. I finally got called for interview for my first job. No, not jump to the story. I finally got invited to get an interview because that was the first time I got ever called back. Understand? I was so excited. I remember going to the place, doing my like, tell me about yourself. We just talk. I don't think she told me about myself. Like, oh, you Courage? I said, yeah. You're Nigerian? I said, yeah, I'm Nigerian. It's like, why do you like the job? I was like, I'm excited. I want to walk here. I'm just like feeling good, like talking. Like it's like almost like you have availability. It's like I'm open to work anytime you want me. I'm willing to work any schedule you give to me. She's like, have you ever worked this kind of job before? I said, no. It's like, oh, you be supporting the kitchen. I'm like, yeah, I don't mind. To talk about the pay. My first job was I was paid $7.50. That was my first job. I was so excited. Like, this is big money. I put in my head how much it is in Nigerian currency. That was my thought. Like, yeah, this money is a big money. If I work 40 hours, I could make a lot of money. All those times I used to think about American money, think about Nigerian currency. Like, oh, it's a big money in Nigeria. Like, never knew that there's tax and all that. So, like, oh, you can start the next day. And she gave me, after my interview, she gave me my uniform, my yellow shirt. She said, do you have a brown pants? I was like, yeah, I got a brown pants. She's like, oh, you good? You just come. She gave me my shirt, gave me my hat. I was so excited, I got a job. I was so happy and all that. Like, that's how I got my first job. Whew. The next day, my first day at my job, I was put as a closing associate. I was a closing person in the kitchen. So my schedule was 1 to 9 o'clock, 1 to 9:30. So because the place is kind of close to my uncle's house, something like, let's say like 2 miles. I walked 2 miles to this place every day, cold, because December time it was cold. So I walked to this place. I got there. She's like, oh, because they were switching from. I think they're switching from breakfast to lunch, mainly, you understand. So all the breakfast pans, plates, everything was put in this big basin, and they put water and let it soak a little bit, and you press something, it's gonna roll the plates, it's gonna roll the water to stay, it's gonna like get some of the dirt out of the plate. She was like, Courage, okay, I'm glad you're here. I didn't even do any orientation or anything. She's like, oh, you can start on that dishes. I'm like, wow, dishes? Even in my house, I don't even do my dishes though. So in my life, man, I washed the most plates I've ever washed in my entire life. That first day at my job, the most dishes I've ever washed, hand washed in my life, man. My shirt was like a short sleeve because it's this kind of deep inside, so I had to fold my shirt up so I don't get water on it. I folded, put my hands there. I was scrubbing these pans that had eggs, potatoes, like all the stuff they had for breakfast. I was scrubbing. I had to wash it. I wash it, I rinse it, and I sanitize it. Whew. By the time I'm starting to catch my breath for that stuff, they're like, oh, go outside and make sure that the salsa bar looks good. I did the salsa bar. She's like, oh, go back and look. She told me to put the drinks in the fountain machine. It's like, oh, this is going to be a job. This is once you come to the dishes, you just look at the salsa bar, you use the thermometer and check the temperature of the foods in the show glass. If they drop at about, if they're below a particular temperature, you put it in the trash and start making another one. Like I was no orientation. I was just like I was just learning as I go. Understand? Wow, it was all on the fast pace on my first day. At the same time, I was in this stuff with so much happiness. I was so happy. I was excited. I got a job. Understand? I was excited. I was happy, and I was wow. Like yeah, came back home, so excited. It just I think the joy, understand, to me. I finally got a job in America. I'm finally earning in dollars. And I was just so excited going home. Then I think by 9:30, my uncle came to pick me up. And I was so excited talking about my first day at work, how I feel about the work, if I'm stressed, if I like it. I'm like, yeah, I love it. I love washing dishes. So that was my first job though. Then since I got time in my hands, like, oh, you can look for a second job. Because I was not going to do anything, I was not going to school or anything yet. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna look for a second job. Then I applied to McDonald's. Me, my sister, my dad were invited for the interview. I remember the manager was a Nigerian guy. Yeah, he sat us together, like, and he asked like, oh, what do you want to eat? I like in my head, man, I thought this guy was like, this guy is really testing us to see if we're gonna be eating this food, if we get hired. So one of us was saying, I said in my head, no, I don't want to eat it, because I know deep down he genuinely offered us a meal, understand? Like, but to me, in my head, I was like, no, this is a test, understand? I don't fail your first test, understand? He's just testing you to see if you have self-control about the food you're making. He was like, I'm Nigerian like you guys, understand? I'm a manager of 3 stores. He mentioned it, like, this store is one of my biggest stores. And he had 2 other locations that he's the manager to. That he was like, the whole interview was like, who's going to go to night shift? That was the whole interview. He was like, I can't put 3 family members in one shift, and something happened to your car or something happens, you have an emergency. That means I've lost half of my crew, understand, that day. He was like, who's going to go to the night shift? I was like, you know what, I'm going to take the night shift offer. First of all, they were paying about 20 cents more than the day shift. So McDonald's was paying me $8.20, I think so, $8.20. They were paying the day shift like $7 something. But my dad and my sister, that's $7.80. They were paying me $8.20 because I was going to go to the night shift. So I was excited, I was going to the night shift. So I work during the day. I work from 1 o'clock to 9:30. In my first job at the gas station in the kitchen. Then my uncle come to pick me up, and he takes me to my McDonald's job. I work there like from 10 o'clock till 4 a.m. Then my auntie come picks me up in the morning like 6 or 7 o'clock before she goes to work. So 4 o'clock after my job, I'm gonna be laying my head down on those tables in McDonald's, just sleeping for like 2 hours or 3 hours before my auntie come get me. So in McDonald's, I work in the kitchen. I was making burgers. I was flipping burgers. I was so excited, understand. I had a job in McDonald's because like we were watching Coming to America, understand. So I thought everybody was like working in McDonald's was everybody's startup job, understand. So I was excited. I work in McDonald's. Then after McDonald's, then we kind of after 3 months or 2 months. We left my uncle's house and we moved to our own place in Houston. So now we're so excited, we got our own apartment. We're so excited and we're happy, we got our own place, we have our own room. Me and my last brother share a room, my sister had her own room. So we're just excited, like, three of us share a room, my sister had her own room, my parents had one room. So it was like a 3-bedroom. So we're excited about the place, and it was like a community, like a big apartment, siblings apartment in Houston. And I just so happy. We're happy to have a place of our own. Then now we're back again in the cycle of looking for a job. After my time in the kitchen and doing dishes and all that, I was like, I think when I come to Houston, I don't want to do a fast food job anymore. I was like, I want to look for something different. I started applying. It took about 6 weeks, more than a month before I got my first job in Houston. My next job in Houston, I got a job in Home Depot. I got hired in Home Depot as a sales associate. So I was sales associate in appliance department. So that's how I started my career in Home Depot though. At the West Timor. It's just fun. I was hired as first to generate lead. So I have a sales quota. I have to open a credit card. I have to generate a lead, either for maintenance or estimating for cabinet or carpet. So I didn't know how to do with sales for AC, even tune up for your AC. So I was almost like a salesperson, sales guy on the floor. It's just kind of fun for me to understand. Then I started working at Home Depot. Then I started applying to go back to school, understand, to start school all over again. I didn't finish my school in Nigeria. And that's a story I'm going to tell some other time about my journey, my college time in Nigeria. But I started my school all over again in Houston Community College. I remember I had to take a TSA exam, TSA test to check my English proficiency level, and I also took some math classes. So I passed the math classes, I passed the reading classes, the composition. I couldn't pass it. It's you're not on college level. You have to go take ESL, which is English as a second language. I was on the 4th level, ESL 4 something. So I should start from there. I was stressed about it. I want to be on college level. So I had a co-worker, George. He was like, Courage, man, you speak English, understand? English is the first language, so you just got to go back and go online and study how America write the essay, understand? Because coming from Nigeria, I'm used to writing essay, introduction, the body, and summary. So in America, you have it's 5 paragraphs, understand? You have to have a thesis in your first introduction. Then those theses you develop, you go break it down to 3 body, then conclusion, that is 5 paragraphs. So I had to learn that. So I went back again, I write my TSA, my English portion, and I passed it, and they put me on college level. I was so happy. So now I was doing college, I was going to community college, and also going to work. So most of my campus was mostly at Elif campus at West Timor, and my Home Depot job is at West Timor too. So my life was work, school, home, and then I was not driving. I have to dealing with metro. I'm glad metro have improved so far. That time we went to Houston, our metro took 30 minutes. If you miss it, you gotta wait for another 30 minutes for you to come. But after a while, it kind of improved. It takes 15 minutes. Bus number 4. I take bus number 4 for my job. I get on bus number 4 to I stop at Gessner, or I stop at Fondring. If I stop at Gessner, I take number 46. Then I stop at West Time, and I walk down to Home Depot. If I take bus number 4, I can stop at Fondring. Then I take bus number 63 to West Timor. Then I can walk to my walk and stand. Then sometimes I want to go to church. We take number 4 to Fondring, and number 63 to Willow Bay, and our church is Bracewood Assemblies of God. So that's our life. Then we don't have a car, we just jump in metro. Anywhere I want to go, we gotta get metro pass, and it was just fun, understand? That's how my journey begins. I was doing Home Depot, and I was doing my college. Then I took all my basic classes. I was taking my classes so I can get into University of Houston, U of H, to do chemical engineering. Then I was taking on I had my advisor that advised me. I was trying to be on the same page with the University of Houston. I went for rotation so I finished my community college. After my community college, I graduated with an associate degree in science, hoping to transfer to U of H. U of H was like, we need some of you, because in my application I put that I went to college in Nigeria a little bit. They say, we want your degree in Nigeria. We want some of those classes you took in Nigeria to transfer. Like, I can't get it. I can't get it, but like I have my associate degree in America. I meet the requirement I was above 2.0, which is the requirement for engineering. I was way above that. I was like, I meet the requirement. Why don't you use my associate degree? Like, come today. I spent so much time going to U of H, paying for parking, driving. So one of my friends was like, she had the same experience with U of H. Like, I heard about Port A&M. It's a HBCU college, because I didn't know anything about HBCU. She's like, it's HBCU college. You're gonna like it, understand? They do chemical engineering too. I'm like, really? I'm like, yeah. I was still thinking about it, and I applied to Texas Tech. Then I got admission to Texas Tech. I look at the place, it was like 12 hours away from Houston. I'm like, I can't do this, man. I have to look for other option. I think that weekend or whatever, I came across a guy in Home Depot. He was buying stuff. He was a black American guy. He was like, he was just talking with me, having a conversation. Like, I think I'm from Nigeria. He was just telling me stories or stuff about Africa. I think he's been to Kenya. He was just talking about Africa to me. I was like, that's nice. He was like, what is your plan? I said, I'm planning to go to school. Like, this is the situation I'm in right now. I've not gotten the feedback from University of Houston. We're like, he was telling me that he teaching Port A&M. I'm gonna love it. It's people like me, they understand. It's mostly people of color, blacks, they understand. I'm gonna like it. The class size is small. I'm like, I'm gonna give it a thought, understand. He was the second person that introduced me to Port A&M. So I went home. I started researching. I look at TSU. TSU doesn't offer chemical engineering there. I look at other schools that are kind of close by. None of them kind of fit me. Then I finally look at Port. They offer chemical engineering. I read about the programs. It kind of interests me. I'm like, I'm gonna go to Port A&M. So that's how I finally got into Port A&M. And up to today, I'm grateful I went to PVA. I'm grateful I went to HBCU college. I'm a proud alumni of a HBCU college, understand. I'm proud, and I don't take it for granted. Every person that taught me had an impact on my life, understand. It's something special being taught by people that looks like you, understand. It's something I don't take for granted. So I was happy I did that. Then I moved to Port A&M the fall of 2018, because I started my community college in 2016. Then 2018, I got an associate degree. Then I transferred to Port A&M to start my career as a chemical engineer. Then I moved there. Then I quit Home Depot. Go through my time in community college, I was going to Home Depot. I quit Home Depot. I said, I want something new, understand? I want to try something different. I thought I was going to get a job easily, so fast in peer review. I couldn't get a job real quick. I was so mad at myself that I could just transfer to another Home Depot close by, close to Cyprus. I was so mad I didn't make that decision. The night was too late. I was like, I started looking for a job. It took me about, after a couple of weeks, I got a job at Ross Dress for Less. It's like a retail store that sells clothes. And I was a stalker at the back, so I work with females at the back. I push heavy stuff. They let me handle the heavy stuff. I did that till I think after the Christmas of 2018. Then I think after Christmas season, it kind of slowed down, because during Christmas season was like our peak. Like even when I was a stalker at the back, I was called to help out as a cashier, understand? So I did that. Then after Christmas season, I was not getting the much hours I needed, understand, to help me pay my rent. Also fuel my car, understand. So I had to look for something that's more consistent with a good schedule for me too with my classes. So Then I went to HEB. So HEB is like, it's a grocery store like Walmart and stuff. I went to HEB. I was working as a night stalker too. I stalked the pet eye. I was called King of Pet because I did the eye so good and stuff. So I worked in HEB for a while. Then HEB was kind of conflicting with my schedule in school and stuff. Like I wanted a few hours. I wanted to work weekends. I was hired as a part-time, but like I keep getting full-time schedule. So I missed a lot of time. So I was like, you know what, I gotta quit HEB just for my own good, understand? So I don't feel out of college, which is the most important thing, understand? So then I went to, after I left HEB, I went to work for FedEx. I was a package handler. I load the trailers. Man, I was one of the best package handlers in FedEx. I used to win an award. They used to give me gifts to buy stuff in FedEx shop. I bought a lot of stuff from FedEx. I had like a crew neck shirt from FedEx. I had like a watch for my mama. I had like a speaker. In my house, it was mostly FedEx stuff because I scanned that package so good and fast. And I get the 3 lights. You have like, if you have 3 lights in the trailer, that means you loaded so good. So most times I have the 3 green lights. Our managers go like, "Oh, Courage, you did good." She would give me like a gift or something, like a point. I go shopping FedEx store. So that's what I did. I did FedEx for a while. I was working night shift. I was working 10 p.m. to 4:30, and I have to go to class by 7:30. So it was kind of affecting me a lot, man. I remember one time I was driving and I almost had an accident. I was driving and I was dreaming I was driving, and I woke up, I was really driving, I was scared. So I said, like, you know what, I'm not gonna kill myself. So I went to talk to my manager. She's like, I can't do night shift anymore, it's affecting me. Can I move to the twilight schedule? She's like, oh, no problem. Then they moved me to the twilight schedule, and it took like 50 cents out of my paycheck. Because I went down because there's like, oh, I was getting like $13.80. Then they took me to twilight schedule. I was getting $13.25. So I did that. So I was working 6 to 10. So after my classes, I go to work. So that's been my schedule and that's been my life. I walked through school. Then that same time during my junior year towards the ending, I also got another job in the library. I was working in the reference department with one of the best managers I had, Miss Kimberly Gay. So I was working as a reference person, helping students with the printing their work, helping them find documents. They want to do research. I was like library assistant to them, so it was a good time. I like that job because it gave me time to also like do my school work while I'm also working. Understand? It was very flexible. It was a good pay too, though. So I was doing 2 jobs: working at the library, working in FedEx, and also going to classes and studying for chemical engineering. So that was a little bit of my career there. Then towards my junior year, before COVID hit, I wanted to go to internship. I got an internship offer with Halliburton and Baker Hughes, but it got rescinded because of COVID. I was excited. I was gonna do an internship finally, in a big company. Understand? Hopefully, after my internship, they're gonna retain me. That was my dream. I'm gonna work in Baker Hughes or Halliburton. I was excited about this whole opportunity. Then COVID hit, and everything was just stand still. Classes was moved online, and now I don't have anything to do. I don't have internship to go to. I don't have I only had FedEx job, and FedEx job was not even I don't have full medical coverage. So I was like, what am I gonna do with my time now? I said, you know what? I'm gonna go work in prison instead. At least there I'm gonna get good medical, and I also get a good schedule. And then I went to TDCJ, Texas Department of Criminal Justice. I worked during that COVID season and during the summer break. I went through the academy. I was a correctional officer training for 6 weeks. After I got trained for 6 weeks, I got posted to my unit at Navasota. So I was a part-timer. So I worked Saturday and Sunday. Then then school started coming back gradually. Some of my classes were still online, so I go to school online. Then some classes was in person a little bit. If you can come in person, you can come in person, and that was an option. So I came in person to all my classes. The rest I took online. I work weekends. So all my life since I came to America, I've been walking. It's just the same cycle: school, work, family, church, or friends and stand. I made good. One thing I made during the time working, especially in Honda, I made good friends. Kosi, Yomi, these guys were my good friends. They're still good friends up to now. We made good relationship. So all my life it's been like that. Then after TDCJ, and finally I graduated college. I graduated the chemical engineering degree from the Great Perry V&M. Then I got offered internship during the summer, and I moved to North Dakota. So I did my internship that summer after my graduation in North Dakota. And as God may have it, after my internship, I got offered full-time in that oil and gas company. And I did 3 years with them, spent some time in North Dakota, spent some time in offshore a little bit, spent some time in Houston office. So that's a little bit about my journey though. It's been amazing. Then and God brought the most beautiful person my way, and I got married to my wife in 2023. We got married. I married a Black American, one of the most amazing and gentle person with great soul and very welcoming and very charming in her personality. We got married, and that's been my journey so far. Then after we got married, we moved to North Dakota, and we came back to Houston. And I'm currently working in a different industry. So, and here am I doing Courage Time, talking about my story, talking about my journey. This country has really blessed me. This country has really improved me. This country has really given me a better opportunity that I can never get elsewhere. I'm grateful. I'm just using this medium to tell people like everybody have their own story. Understand? Like, don't let people out there, don't let the media, don't let what people say about people you have not come in contact with to sell them short to you, understand, to give you a negative energy even before you meet them. Immigrants are nice people. And I tell you, no immigrant want to do bad or want to mess up this opportunity they have in this country. We're here to do something, we're here to improve ourselves. We're not just representing ourselves, we're representing our families, people that were left behind. So they're looking up to us. So we have a chip on our shoulder each time we walk, reminding us like, yeah, people are watching, people are looking up to you, understand? So that's what I want to say. This journey has been amazing. It's been a good time being in this country. So as time goes on, you hear other stories too from other people. I hope my story has kind of like inspire you or give you a fresh perspective of what an immigrant journey is. So many persons take different paths that's different from mine. So I know you've heard my own story, understand. So in the comments or in the comment section in our social media handles, I want to hear your own story, understand. You can reach out to me too. And your story can give you a shot to be at Courage Time, understand. I want to put immigrant on the spotlight for good, understand. I want the world to see how good we are. I want the world to see that we have good intention. So hit me up, understand. Leave a comment, reach out to me with emails or call or to my social media handle, understand. Courage Time on Facebook, Instagram, even on YouTube. I'm gonna get back to you. I want to hear your story. I want to know where you're coming from. We're all in this journey together, and we're gonna make it. We're gonna be good people in this country, and we're gonna represent where we're coming from. So thank you again for hearing my story. Thank you. So this is Courage Times. More stories are coming. Stay tuned. Yeah.